Alright, so this ridiculous video here made its rounds a while back. I'm a little late to the party, but I've had it saved in my camera roll because I've been wanting to talk about it. This person is just basically adding fuel to the hate that the younger generation has from everyone else, talking about how they're lazy and all this. And to top it off, of course, it says transsexual crying because working 8 hours a day is too long. Actually, I've edited this so it's larger so you can't see that, but that's a note that was on top of it, which means this quote unquote boy is actually a girl. And the ironic part is this mother effer is here crying about, oh, I have to work too many hours. And it's like, okay, so you want to be a boy, but you're still acting like a girl. Like, you're just an idiot. But yeah, anyways, let's get into this little whiny baby story and see what's so terrible.
People wonder why we need a union at Starbucks, and I am literally about to quit. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but, like, I really want to. I almost walked out today, and I'm crying in the back room right now, and I almost cried on the floor. It's just, I'm like a full-time student. I get scheduled for 25 hours a week, and on weekends, they schedule me the entire day, open to close. I'm on the schedule for 8.5 hours, both Saturday and Sunday. I'm like 3.5 hours into my shift. There's so many customers, and we have 4 people on the floor all day.
Okay, you moron. There was a lot to unpack right there. First off, we're going to start with the last thing you said. I'm in the back room crying because there's only 4 of us working and we've been so busy all day. Okay, so you understand the struggles and the stress of how busy it is currently. So your plan was to go in the back and start crying and make a video? So now you're leaving those 3 people out there on the floor to deal with all the customers while you go have some stupid, pointless meltdown because you can't handle 25 hours a week of work. Like, that's kind of a dick move, and not kind of, it is a dick move and pretty rude. And I don't know who's allowing this to happen, but I know any place I've worked, I'm not going to be able to just walk off the floor and go cry. If that happened with me, chances are very high it means that I'm fired. First, it's going to be the manager's going to come over and be like, what the F do you think you're doing? Get off your phone, you have a job to do. And then if I'm like, I need to cry, then chances are it meant, okay, you can go home, and that means the rest of the week you can forget about coming in, and we'll see about you even keeping your job. And the only reason I would be able to keep my job is because I'd be desperate for staff, and so I'd be able to keep my job just because they need the body. But if they found somebody during the week, they'd probably just replace me, and okay, you don't need a job anymore since you couldn't work the other day. Second off, this mother effer, this girl, who wants to pretend to be a guy, but guys do not act like this, so, good act, is, whining about, I'm a full-time student and I work 25 hours a week. Shut your fucking gay mouth. When I went to school, I worked full-time and went to school full-time. I actually went to school more than full-time because, for me, I'm sure it's still like this, but full-time is you only need 4 classes, or 12 credit hours, and I typically took 5 classes or 15 credit hours. So I went to school more than full-time, and I worked full-time. I used to go to work from 4:30 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon, and then I'd go home, take a shower, get changed, and then go to school basically right away. My school was an hour away, so I'd leave at 2 o'clock. I'd get to school by 3. My classes were at 5:45 at night. I didn't have a computer, so I had to get to school early. That way then I could do my homework, and then I'd go to class, and I'd be at school from 5:45 until... My classes were supposed to be until 10:15, but most teachers were cool because they realized it's late, so we'd get out around 9:30. And then head home. But, even if I get out at 9, I'm not home until 10. Then I'd go to bed and most likely do it again the next day. Sometimes I'd be off from work the next day at least, but I'd still have school the next day, so I'd have to go back out at night and do it all over again. So, yeah, you're crying because I'm a full-time student and I work 25 hours a week. Seriously? I don't want to hear it. Like, this is life. This is what you got to do. You have the crappy job for now just to get you by on basic things like pay your phone bill, your gas for your vehicle, your car insurance and all that. And then you're going to school to make a better future. So this is what you have to deal with for now while you're young and have the energy. Like, shut up and stop crying. Just deal with it. It's a temporary thing. It's 4 years that you got to deal with this. The other thing is, what was I going to say? I had another point to what I was saying. The weekends. Oh, they put me on for 8 hours each day. I've been working 8 hours on the weekends every single weekend since I was like 14. Okay, maybe not since I was 14. I think I worked 6-hour shifts then because legally I couldn't do 8 hours. But as soon as I turned 16, I was doing 8-hour shifts every single weekend. And that happened all the way up until, 2021 is when I finally no longer needed to work weekends. So I was doing that for like 18 years straight, working every single weekend, 8 hours a day, both days. I mean, I went for a period of 3 years straight where I didn't have a single day off because I was working 2 jobs. And so either A, I was working both jobs, B, I was working one job, not the other, or C, I was working the other job and not the one job. Like, and you're crying because you have 25 hours a week? This is so ridiculous. Like, shut up. You have a job, do your job. Oh, and you're saying, this is why we need a union at Starbucks. Why do all these Starbucks people think they're so special? You know how many jobs are ridiculously similar to Starbucks? There's Dunkin's. That's also a coffee shop. There's McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. Those are fast food. They're also way more busy than Starbucks is. Starbucks is mostly just coffee. McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's is drinks, ice cream, food, snacks. Way more busy. You don't see people there crying. And, here's another thing as well. You said that there's 4 people working. I worked at Dunkin's for, 6 years total out of my life? Not in a row. I think it was like 3 years and 3 years split up. But anyways, 4 people on staff, depending on what shift you're doing, is plenty enough. If you're second shift, that is way more than enough than you need. And if that's first shift, okay, maybe it's a little bit of a struggle, but it's still doable. There's been plenty of times because of COVID, I was still working at Dunkin's during COVID, that we only had 4 people total. And it was jam-packed busy, but we made do. You just suck it up and do it. It's what you gotta do. Jeez. This mother effer here. Shut your mouth. Are you serious? Just like, there was another time, too. Way back when I was just starting college and I was working at McDonald's during those days. There was a big snowstorm and practically everybody called out. But I still made it in because I don't know what time I was supposed to be in at, but I had enough time, so I just drove slowly the whole way and I made it. And there really wasn't very many people working. There was me, the manager, and I think one other person. And at first, we thought this would be fine, because it's a snow day, it's crappy, no one's going to be out. Well, it ended up picking up. I mean, I think our lunch hour ended up being like $600, which on average, a lunch hour was $1,000. And on average, when you had those $1,000 hours, you had at least about 10 people working. Just to try and put it into perspective, like, we had a $600 hour with 3 people. Like, you know how crazy that was that day? Very. But none of us whined. We did what we had to do. We sucked it up. We powered through. And it's fine. Now it's history. It's just something I can talk about now, about how busy it was. And, I was in the grill area by myself, cooking everything, making everything, doing all that all by myself in the kitchen area. Serving up tons and tons of burgers and chicken and fries all by myself. I didn't cry about it. In a way, I thought it was cool. I saw it as a challenge. Like, ooh, this sucks, but let's see what we can do. Let's see how good we can do. Now, oh my god, I need a break to go cry. I know there's only 3 of us, and now you'll 2 be alone when I go cry about it. And seriously, your dumb trans nonsense is really making me frustrated. You need to just drop that, because you're clearly... Obviously, you're not a man. I mean, you are a girl. Genetically, you're a girl. That's what you are. But you don't even act like a man. A guy does not do this. Seriously?
Only 5 people were put on the schedule, and somebody had to call out. And there are 4 people running the whole store, and there's so many customers, and there's possibly scheduled 5 people. We only have 13 people employed at this store, and there's so many customers. And we don't have fair scheduling. Managers don't care about us. Our manager was supposed to come in this weekend, and he took himself off the schedule, so he wouldn't be able to be held accountable for calling out. He just literally tore down the schedule that he was scheduled on and put up a new schedule where he wasn't on the schedule. Also, he couldn't have even seen that he was scheduled in the first place because he didn't want to be held accountable for not wanting to come in. They don't want to help us.
The irony here is you're whining about your manager not wanting to come in. First off, again, I don't know which shift this is from, but you were supposed to have 5 people scheduled originally. Potentially, that is a lot. If you're second shift, that is a lot. Most second shifts I've done at Dunkin's are 3 people. 5 is a lot. That means there's gotta, like, for the most part, if you guys knew how to work properly and you weren't sitting back here crying over nothing, there's definitely going to be somebody who's just kind of floating around with nothing to do because there's too many of you. Second off, even if this is first shift, that's not too bad. For the most part, again, you have one person on front counter, one person on sandwiches, one person in drive-thru taking the money and handing out the products, one person taking orders, and then you have a floater. Well, actually, the person taking orders is also making the coffees right as they take the order. And then you have a floater who's able to either help on front counter when needed or help out in the drive-thru a little bit more or jump on sandwiches. So, actually, no matter what shift you're on, 5 people is sufficient enough, especially if you're all good. Obviously, you're the weakest link and you're holding down the other people that you're working with, but under normal circumstances, that's totally fine. Which brings me to the point I'm trying to make, is you're whining about your manager, but your manager, let's say it's a guy, he knew that you guys were fine, so he took himself off because chances are he's working way more hours than you. You know, you're crying about, what was it again, 25 hours a week, 24 hours a week? Where he's probably putting in 50 hours a week, because I know that's what these kind of places do. You know, you're on salary for 40 hours worth of work, but you end up putting in 50, 55, 60 hours. So basically, you're talking crap about some guy who works way more than you work and go to school combined, and he just wants to have some time off, and you're acting like he's the bad guy when you're over here on the clock, literally crying and dicking off to make a video. Like, you really have no legs to stand on. Get back to work and shut your mouth. And then, oh, they don't care about us. Well, I don't really know where you're getting that from. Did you try to call them? Did you say, hey, we're really short-staffed and struggling. Could you please come in and help? Probably not. You're just going to cry about, oh, he took the schedule down so that we can't see that he was on it for today. And I'm not doing my job. I'm not pulling my weight at all. So now those people have more to worry about that are still on the floor. The other thing is, I don't know what you're crying about with Starbucks. Oh, it's so busy. Anytime I go to a Starbucks, let's see, there's one that's near me that's in a Target. It's usually pretty busy there because of the Target, but they always have 2 or 3 people working. Again, if you have 4 or 5, you're totally fine. And then there's a Starbucks relatively nearby to me that's actually a standalone store. And typically, yes, I do go there pretty late, but when I am in the area and it's not late, it's never really that busy. 4 or 5 people is plenty enough staff, so I really don't know what you are crying about. You're just finding any excuse to just be like a loser and whining and make yourself be a victim. You're probably gonna try and sneak in that you're trans as well, right?
We need a union because this can't happen. This can't happen. We need fair scheduling. We need managers to hold themselves accountable for helping their workers. They refuse to turn mobile orders off. We need the liberty to be able to do that because there's so many mobile orders and I need to get through all of them. And then people are yelling at me because they don't have their orders ready. And they don't know.
Oh, my word. First off, no, you don't need a union. God, shut your stupid mouth. You're talking about how, we need fair scheduling. Fair scheduling? You work 25 hours a week. Relax. There's nothing unfair about that. If anything, you probably have the better end of the stick than some people who actually have 40 hours plus because you don't pick up more slack. Second off, you're talking about managers with accountability. I already went over that in the last time I paused. He has enough people scheduled. 4 or 5. You said there's supposed to be 5 people scheduled and 1 called out. Okay, well, that's not his fault somebody called out. I mean, it's also not your team's fault that somebody called out, but you're still good. You have 4 people. It's not like it's just you there by yourself. And you tried calling the manager multiple times and he's not answering, and you try to call shift leaders and they're not answering and stuff. Like, you're making a big issue out of nothing. And then, dang it, what was the last thing this moron said? I forgot now. I don't know.
And a customer was misgendering me today, like, really.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You said customers are yelling at you. Oh, I have to make all these mobile orders and customers are yelling at me. Okay, I get it. Mobile orders do suck. Like, when I was at Dunkin's, mobile orders are annoying. They get in the way. It's like you have real customers that you're trying to deal with. Well, a mobile order is a real customer, but I mean, like, somebody that's physically there, whether it's drive-thru or front counter. They're physically right there, and you got to make their stuff. But then you get the stupid mobile order that you got to deal with, and you got to try to get it done before the mobile person comes in, so then it's, like, weird pressure that you're under. So I can understand that. But again, budget your team properly. You're wasting time sitting back here now. You could be out on the floor making those mobile orders. Right now, those other 3 people are handling it without you. So if you're out there just focusing on mobile, now you're banging out mobile, and the other 3 people are banging out actual customers that are standing there. Like, don't make problems where there's not problems. And then you said that people are yelling at you because whatever, I don't know, you're taking too long or something. Yeah, well, because you're over here breaking down, being a little baby, crying, oh my god, I have a job, and the job comes with work. It doesn't mean that I just show up and get paid to do nothing besides browse Twitter. So now these people are like, come on, what's taking you so long to make my coffee? I see you just standing there crying. Put the ingredients in my cup, get me my drink. I've been standing there for 15 minutes. Like, duh, why do you think they're getting upset, stupid?
Badly. I didn't have their order ready, and so they were just like talking to each other, and they're like, she's clearly incompetent. I have a full mustache and beard.
Alright, calm down, moron. First off, them calling you she, they're not wrong. You are a she. Stupid. Just because you want to try to pretend you're something you're not. Second off, you're completely acting like a she. There's nothing manly about how you're behaving. So yeah, nobody's misgendering you. It's what you are, okay? But the point is if you want to try to fool people, act like it. You know, I bet you're standing like maybe back view they see you, and they see somebody that's kind of small looking, kind of frail looking because you're a girl, someone who's crying for no reason. So yeah, you put 2 and 2 together, someone small, frail, crying, oh, girl. You don't think, oh yeah, that's a big beefy man, because big beefy men do that all the time. No. Secondly, I mean, I can't see. It's mostly just your face here, but you probably have your jugs still. I doubt you got a double mastectomy yet, so obviously that's a giveaway as well. If you turn, they see jugs. Guys don't have that unless they're a big, bulky, fat guy. And then you're talking about I got a full mustache and beard. Do you know what a full mustache or beard is? Seriously? You have barely peach fuzz. Like, calm down calling yourself full mustache and beard. You got like a pencil line for a mustache and like little, 14-year-old ball hair on your chin. Like, calm down. That ain't no full mustache and beard. A full mustache and beard is what Santa has when you think of a stereotypical Santa. That's full, not this nonsense. You serious? Looks like you pet your cat a little much and then took the hair that was in your hand and glued it to your face and said, "Hey, look, I got a beard now." Relax.
What the fuck? I don't get accommodations for being neurodivergent. I don't. I can't use.
Here we go, neurodivergent. I don't know what that means, but I do know that they're just making up some dumb nonsense. Actually, when I said there, I don't mean to do the stupid non-binary pronoun nonsense. I meant they're like those type of people. So a collective. But yeah, of course, this person, transsexual, they already have mental issues, and now they're making up more. I'm neurodivergent. What does that even mean, idiot? You don't even know what that means. You're just making stuff up. Try to make yourself more of a victim and have more of a wannabe excuse to cry. I'm neurodivergent. I don't know what that means. It's just something that sounds cool. Oh, I'm also trans. Ugh.
People get mad at me for using my sick time. I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm like at my wit's end with this job. I really am.
You don't even know what to do anymore? I can help you. You can go see a therapist, a normal therapist, not one that's going to be on your team with all your dumb, oh, do you need more hormones? No, somebody that's going to be like, all right, ma'am. First off, stop pretending to be a guy. You're not a guy. Second off, here's some pills to balance that chemical imbalance in your head going on. Second off, I know I said second off before, but I meant that to be an extension of the first one, so I didn't really mean second off yet. I just thought of other stuff as a second off. So anyways, the real second off now is, this is the real world. This is what you do. You're choosing to go to college, but you also need to work, so you have some money. So make a choice. Either A, quit college and focus on working only. B, quit working and go to college only and have no money. Or C, well, I don't know what else to tell you. Be a total loser and live off your parents if they'll support you. I don't know. Or D, just shut the fuck up and grow up. Oh. I guess that was it. Barry Foxworth. That's not who this person is, I don't think. This is a repost that I found on Barry Foxworth. And, yeah, not a repost, but... because repost is actually a feature on TikTok. So it's not a repost, but it's a, I don't know what you want to call it. Something that he recorded and just put to his channel. And then added this. Transsexual crying because working 8 hours a day is too long. Again, you probably can't see it because I have this zoomed in. But it's a little, like, message that he typed on top of this dumbass's head. Anyways. Yeah, these losers, these people, oh my god. They're so annoying to deal with. And it's funny because, like, liberals, which is what this person would be, are always quick to, like, talk crap about, like, right, people on the right and conservatives. And it's like, in comparison to you, we are so much more sane and intelligent and logical and reasonable. Like, you people are you give yourself Munchausen syndrome over everything just so that then you can have something to whine about. Like, that's just so weird and dumb. And they all do it. And they all want to claim, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this one, I'm a trans, and it's like, and then look, they get upset too, they kept misgendering me. No, they weren't, they were spot on, okay? It's like, they can't accept reality, and they can't accept their reality, but yet, or actually, I should say, they can't accept their reality specifically, but yet they expect everyone else to accept their reality. Like, how does that make any sense? And then when you want to live in actual reality, then you're the bad guy. Oh, they kept misgendering me. No, they didn't. Idiot. You're the one that's trying to change the rules by playing some weird head games game, making things up. I'm a boy. No, you're not. But someone says that, now they're the bad guy? Okay. Anyways, fuck this motherfucker. I don't know their name. I don't know her name, I mean. If I did, I'd be using it. Not the stupid guy name. I think the tag said Evan or something. Your name's not Evan. Your name was probably like Elijah or something. Alicia or Elle or Evelyn or something. But yeah, anyways, this is all I got. So thanks for checking this out. Fuck these people. And until next time, I said see ya.